Guys, continuing on with circles, we are going to talk about arc length. And I believe we should have this formula in our dictionary, but we're going to write it again. So to get arc length, we use a cursive L to represent length. And that would be equal to x times c all over 360. And x stands for the degree measure of the arc, and c stands for the circumference of the circle. Okay, so with that being said, let's thin this out. First thing we have to do is find the circumference of the circle. And remember, circumference is equal to 2 pi radius. And in this case, for number 1, the radius is 6. So we actually technically have everything we need. The degree measure is 107, so x is 107 in this instance, times 2 pi radius is 6 all over 360. I'll simplify the top part and multiply all the numbers. I'll leave the pi symbol as the pi symbol, but I'll do 6 times 2, which is 12. 12 times 107, and I should get 1,284. And I still have my pi symbol all over 360. And just typing that straight into a calculator, 1,284 times pi, all divided by 360, should give me around 11.21. And in this case, we're using meters. And there's your answer. So we're not technically finding the full circumference, we're just plugging in the circumference formula. Let's do that one more time here. Number 2. We know that the degree measure is 38, so x is 38. So 38 times 2 pi, the radius is 15, all over 360. Again, I'll just simplify the numbers out. I know 2 times 15 is 30, and then 30 times 38 is 1,140 pi, all over 360. And then typing that into a calculator, I should get 9.95 inches when I round. Oops, I'm going too fast. Okay. So every time we write this out, I want you guys, I hope you've noticed some things never change. So I'm going to be using 2 colors here. The times 2 pi all over 360 always stays there. All we are plugging in are 2 numbers. The measure, the degree measure, so the 142, and the radius. 2 pi and 360, again, are part of the formula. Those numbers will never change. So when I multiply all the numbers, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 142. Oh, I had just noticed I made a mistake. The directions were for the bolded arc, and that is not the bolded arc 142. So we are actually going to erase our 142. Oops. Erase a lot of things, apparently. We're just erasing the whole thing. Okay. We're going to start over. So like we said, the times 2 pi and the 360 stay. My radius is 4 no matter what, because it's the radius of the circle. But they don't want us to find the small part. They bolded out the other unlabeled part of the circle. But I know a circle is 360. So 360 minus 142. It should be 218 for the other part of the circle. This is what happens when you go too fast. So 218 is what should be plugging in because they say find the bolded arc. Okay, so again, I know 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 2, 18 is 1,744. Haven't used pi yet. Haven't used 360. When I plug that into a calculator, I should get about 15.22 centimeters. Okay. Now that I'm, oh, what just happened? All right. Now that I'm paying attention though, in number 4, again, the bolded arc is not labeled yet in degrees, but again, a circle is 360 minus 288. Okay. We are having issues here. And we should get 72. I'm trying to show my work, but it's just not working. Okay, again, multiplying by 2 pi, dividing by 360, those are standard in the formula. First thing is the degree measure of the arc we're talking about. The next thing we plug in is the radius of the circle. I'm going to multiply all my numbers from the top, and I get 1,368 pi all over 360. In the calculator, it should work out to 11.94 feet. Okay, bit of a word problem, so we're going to look at this. It says if EB is 15 centimeters, so there's a 15 right there for EB. Find the length of CD. So they want us to find this. Remember, EB is a radius, so all those sides are 15 inside the circle, but we don't have the angle yet. I need to find this angle in here. But they gave us a diameter, right? That's half a circle. Half a circle is 180. So 180 minus 68. You get 112. So now I know the circle is 112. Or sorry, the angle. So now I can go back into that formula. So remember, that formula is a fraction over 360, right? We're multiplying by a 2 pi. We are plugging in a radius and the angle of the arc. Angle of the arc is 112. The radius is 15. So I know 15 times 2 is 30. In the calculator, 30 times 112 is 3,360 pi. Still over 360. And then I'm just going to type that into the calculator, that fraction, and I should get about 29.32, we'll call it, centimeters. Nice part about this is we're just plugging into a formula every now and then, maybe subtracting from 360 or subtracting from 180, depending on what we're dealing with. Okay, last question. If NR is 8 feet, find the length of NMP. So remember, if it's 3 letters, it's going to be the big arc. N to M to P. Okey-dokey. So, I don't have anything within the circle, but I have that 162, which tells me the way I'm understanding the 162 is from M to Q. So this angle right here is 162. Oop. I have a diameter, right? It's going through the center of the circle. So I cut my circle in half. So I need to do, this is half a circle, 180 minus 162. And I should get 18. Which means the remaining part, this little guy right here, is 18. And I have vertical angles, so if this little guy here is 18, this little guy down here is also 18. So the entire angle, ignore my clock, from N all the way to P, that whole angle, it's technically those three parts of the angle, right? We have 162, we have 18, and we have 18 again. So I'm going to add them all up. I get 198. So that is, we're talking about angles, so that is my degree. So again, I can go back into my formula. Remember, we times by 2 pi. We're dividing by 360. We are just adding in an angle, which is 198, and the radius, which is 8. When I multiply 8 times 2, I get 16. 16 times 198 is 3,000, excuse me, 168 pi, all over 360. You're going to plug that into the calculator, and you're going to get 27.65 feet. I'm going to leave you guys the back to do. It's a lot of this practice continuing on. 2-word problems. So call me over if you need help. Remember, if you see a box, that means a 90-degree angle, so you can fill in with the number 90. And I think you guys can handle this. Let me know if we need help.